Hey everybody, Joe Cornelius here. Let me take you on the job site and show you how I do one of my favorite faux finishes. I'm going to take some ordinary painted trim and make it look like real oak. Check it out, I'll show you step by step. So I just go to whatever paint store, any paint store, just get some regular interior yellow paint, satin sheen. You dip it halfway into the bristles and just a little dab on the sides, like so. Dip, dab. Little dip and dab will do you. You cover it all with this base coat. Now I always use yellow. Let gravity drag it right down that edge. See how I went right down that vertical edge? Just let gravity pull it. Go with it. That's all you gotta do. So you can see I just tried to get that base coat nice and level. Pull out the strokes. Get it as even as you can. You don't need to worry too much about that base coat. Alright, now we're putting the top coat on. This is an oil glaze. And I tinted it myself. You got your raw umber, you got your burnt umber, and you got your yellow oxide. You mess with it to get the tone you want. You know, I'm using a quart, and I probably didn't put more than a couple ounces of tint in that. You need to understand how thin I'm spreading that stuff, alright? This is not like paint. This is like I'm putting it on and pulling it out as thin as I can pull it, because that's how you get it to be nice and even. All you got to do this is you can see that my brush, if I pull it sideways, because that flat shape of it, it's going to have a fat line. So I start pulling it sideways, see? Fatter line. So my brush always stays facing the same direction in order to get that pattern. Just like a calligraphy pen. You know, you got the skinny way, you got the fat way, it just stays the same direction the whole time. Just follow suit line after line. So whatever pattern you choose to use, I mean, you can zigzag that line all you want. You can go all over the place. As long as you remember, just keep that brush facing the same way so that wherever you start to go sideways, it's wider. Wherever you start to pull it long ways, it stays skinny. And you need to end off of the board, all the way to the edge of the board. Because remember, this is just a piece out of a tree that has continuous rings in it. A knot in the wood, you know, in the real world, that's something that you fill with caulk. Get rid of that knot. Paint's gonna come out of that. But no, we're not filling these knots. We are creating knots in the wood. First thing I'm gonna do is get rid of the heavy spots. Another thing is you gotta get good at handling a brush. Yeah, I've been handling a brush. I'm gonna take that brush, I'm gonna lightly pull it across this grain that I just made. You just pull it right across there. You don't need a lot of pressure. You know, you want that right balance of the little pull marks coming across it. Trying to get that real splintery wood grainy look. Oh yeah, that looks good. You don't want to do too many. You don't want to do too many of those. You get all stressed, tense. You want to let it release to a. I'm gonna take this rag and I'm gonna make ripples in the wood. You know how you see a guitar or something, it's got the flame maple and the wood's all ripply, or you see burl walnut or something, it's got all the ripples in the wood. We're just gonna do a really subtle effect to that nature on this oak. See, look at that. It looks like those splinters are catching the light in the wood, and it's just like a rippled wood. I have a lot of fun with this because this is where you're comfortable with the technique, you're feeling good about it. And then you're like, I'm gonna add something a little more exciting to this. Look, maybe your wood grain looks like this. Alright, maybe it doesn't look like mine. Maybe it looks like this, with a skull, big skull in the middle. That's it, okay? After I drag that fat brush across the top, that's done. That's the finished coat right there. You can just leave it.